Welcome to this video. So I'm super beyond excited for this video because I just did an interview with Raoul, and this guy is a marketing genius, okay? He's a genius and you will see that throughout the video. He has got the 2X Club Award from ClickFunnels. He has been in consulting to ClickFunnels. He has run marketing campaigns for Philipp Plein that after that Chanel copied. He's the guy behind all the big personal brands in Germany. And, I had him on an interview, and in that interview we will talk about building your business, turning your side hustle into a real business, and he will reveal some of the secrets that he has used to generate tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in sales online. Okay, so be excited for the interview. Just before we jump into it, just wanted to say sorry for the bad audio quality on my side. That was actually the first interview that I recorded online, so my audio quality wasn't that good, but Raoul's audio quality is perfect, so be excited for the video, and in it, trust me, you will learn lots of stuff, so be excited for it. This guy is an absolute marketing genius. Those of you who are from Germany, you guys probably know Raoul, but I just wanted to make this quick introduction. For those of you who are from the US and who don't understand German, who don't know Raoul, because if you don't know who he is, what he does, what kind of genius he is, then you will maybe not watch this video until the end, but I can tell you, watch this video until the end, it's badass.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Raoul, maybe introduce yourself, because I guess most people from the US and international people probably don't know you. So yeah.
Yeah, so I started with entrepreneurship when I was 18. So I started with online clothing, with fitness clothing, basically, which I created, which I designed, which I then imported from China and sold it via an online store, which was at the time like a WooCommerce store. And that was my first start into online business a few years ago. Back at the time, nobody was, there was like not much known about Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, and so on. And I read the 4-hour work week from Timothy Ferriss, and I was like, okay, I need to outsource all this marketing part. So I hired a very expensive agency, which had no clue, unfortunately, about Facebook, YouTube, any online marketing advertising at the time. But it was very well known, so I thought, okay, let's hire these guys. Turned out was a bad decision, but I couldn't know it, so I got frustrated because I spent a lot of money for them and they couldn't help me very well. I was like, okay, I will learn this all now by myself and teach it myself and implement it by myself. So that's how I started, basically. And now, fast forward, as you mentioned, work with which large brands do a lot of revenue. And I also work with ClickFunnels and also have like some awards from them, also the 10x awards, like for 10 million funnel and so on.
Yep.
I'm not that focused on Instagram like you are. I'm more focused on Facebook and YouTube, and more about marketing in general, like not only online marketing, but marketing and sales, brand building, and like creating brands. And that's about me. And I live in Dubai like you. So
yeah. Yes. So I moved to Dubai when I was 18, like last year. When did you move to Dubai? And what was like the main reasons that you moved to Dubai?
I moved to Dubai when I was 3.5 years ago, when I was 23, when I just turned 23. Actually was 22. I made the decision and prepared everything. So almost 4 years ago. And so first time I came to Dubai 10 years ago, 2010 in October. And since then I was like, okay, living one time in Dubai sounds like a good idea. And so was always a goal. And then eventually I burned all boats and went to Dubai.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, same for me. Like in 2017, I did an internship here in Dubai. And since then, it's just been a dream to move to Dubai. And last year, I did that. So when I talk to people, when we talk about you, what we talk about you, but like lots of people know you in Germany and everything, and people know that you have run a marketing campaign for example, for Philip Line. So it would be interesting to, like, interesting story probably. How did you manage to run marketing campaigns for Philip Line? Like, how did that happen? What's the story behind it?
Yeah, so the story is pretty interesting because at the time, it was around the time when I came to Dubai that I, for the first time, like at the time, like realized, okay, who is Philip Line and what he's doing and so on. So it was a time where he became more active on Instagram, and that's somehow I discovered him and was like, okay, this is Philip Line, pretty interesting character, first of all, and then he was also from Germany, and he's design, and I knew his name from the past, and then I was okay, like spending time with his clothing, and was like, okay, the cool clothing. Some pieces of it, not all of it, but some of them are pretty cool. They're different. They're a little bit flashy, and I was like, okay, let's try that. Bought some of some pieces, and was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But then I figured out, okay, wait a bit. I was asking how was my buying experience actually. I was like, okay, I didn't saw. I visited his online shop first of all. I was like, okay, as somebody who works in advertising, I all the time have my Google Chrome extension where it's like pixel checker and so on. And first thing I see is there's no Facebook pixel. I was like, okay, that's pretty strange, man. Okay, so and then I was like, okay, it's a follow-up process. There are no sales there's no campaigns. I don't get very nice email campaigns. I don't get retargeting ads. Um, his shop is not optimized, and I was like, man, there's so much potential. I could do something for that. And this is basically how I work, because I don't hunt for clients. I can basically, I'm in a position where I can work, where I can decide if I want to work with people or not, basically. And it was for me like, okay, this is a challenge. This is an interesting character. I like most of the clothes, and it's an interesting brand which with a lot of potential. So let's try to reach out of them. And so I saw he was here in Dubai at the time, or sometime later, I don't know anymore. And I was like, okay, let's try to get in contact with him. Wasn't that easy. Eventually, I got in contact with his best friend, which is very nice and cool guy, Christoph. And Christoph worked in media. He's like a producer of Germany's Next Top Model and stuff like that. And I was talking with him, and it took a couple of months where we got closer to each other and started to work on some other project. And eventually, after 9 months or 10 months, I got the introduction to Philip, and yeah, flew down to his home in Cannes, in south of France, Côte d'Azur, and we had a meeting. Originally, we planned to stay there for 2 days, and turned out to be like then 3 days, 4 days, and then it was like extended for like 10 days, because then they were like, okay, guys, let's stay here. We have next week we have a fashion week in Milan. Can you do some advertising for them? And we were like, yeah, of course. Like, what are your plans? They were like, well, we have no plan. That's why you're here. We're like, okay, challenge accepted. And so like we started to film, create content very spontaneously. It was really a hell lot of fun, also because nothing was planned. And sometimes it's like the best time to create the best things, because you have you have to improvise, and you get very creative, and that's what we got at the time. So we got very creative. We created Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all different kind of stuff, and advertised it, and reached a record of impressions for a little bit of budget, a record of viewerships, of brand reach for this fashion week, and it was one of the most successful fashion weeks all the time. And at that time, so successful that also Chanel started to copy my ads.
Oh,
So
really?
all the framework, yeah, I have screenshot. I was like, can I share also like all the framework what I did at the time. Chanel started to copy it. Was like it's pretty sick. Like such a big brand because Philip Klein. I mean, like he's very successful. He does 300 million, but in the fashion world, it's nothing because if you compare it to like Louis Vuitton, which does I think like 6 billion in revenue. Chanel was 4 billion. Um, Dolce and Gabbana is I think between 2 and 3 billion, maybe 4. I'm not sure. Tom Ford is with 4 billion. So they're all like way bigger. Philip has an amazing standing because he is the most expensive of all of them.
Yeah.
Well, beside Tom Ford, but he's definitely one of the more expensive one and unique ones, but still has a very great branding and people are more, or like the people who buy his clothing count him into this league of all these other big fashion brands, and he did it all by himself. So it's very interesting accomplishment. But then like Chanel copied his ads, it was very funny. And yeah, this is basically the story how we met and worked together and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like for me, for example, like I also like work with influencers. Like, I not all the projects that I do is, for example, like if my personal brand, I have followers, I sell my products on the personal brand, I have brand accounts where I sell products. But I also cooperate with influencers and just use their reach and have them monetize their audience. And I think that's definitely a great way to, like, let's say, make money or to do projects and to build businesses even without having to show yourself or without having to build your own reach and everything. And that's like the main thing that you are doing right when it comes to the online stuff, right? That you work with
Yes.
influencers, you build their audience, you build their brand, you structure everything. And what would be one advice when it comes to working with those people, to getting in contact with them and everything for a beginner who, for example, doesn't want to show himself on Instagram, who doesn't want to create his own product, but who wants to be active on social media and profit from social media? What advice would you give to him if he wants to work with influencers and help them? Yeah.
Yeah, same advice that worked for me basically because it perfectly described a younger version of me. Um, uh, Reach out or like first of all look for influencers, maybe preferable people that you like because it's easier to work with people that you like and people of course that you don't like. Makes sense. Or a brand that you're very or a person that you're very passionate about because you're willing to help and with the brand where it's passion you spot easier as a potential that's something where you have absolutely no interest in it.
Yeah.
So like think of about okay, what brands do you like, or like with persons you're following on YouTube, on Instagram, and so on. And if you're in this advertising area in marketing, you might spot like 1 or 2 opportunities because nobody's perfect. Everybody is busy and cannot take care all the time about some things. And maybe you find some opportunities that are very large opportunities. And all you need to do is like reach out to them and make them realize what they are leaving on the table right now if they don't work together with you, because you can help them create new opportunities. And especially when you're a beginner, for you it's important like to make money, but not to get super rich, but to get experience, to get to work with a cool brand, to get a testimonial, a very good testimonial. So for them, they almost have nothing to lose. This is what you need, what you just need to communicate with them. They don't have much to lose. They only have to win, that you're very competent, that you're the right person for the job, and that you are the right person on the job and nobody else. And that you really like what they're doing, that you're listening to them is very important, that you listen what the brand wants, where he wants to go, and that you put their interests over yours, and that you want to find a solution for them to do better. And if you, and this is all you need to communicate. You don't need to make it more complex or like more difficult or sort through. This is all you need to do. And yeah, and try, because it's in the end it's of course sometimes it takes longer time to work with people you want to work with, but you just need to be patient, and because you cannot lose. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it gets faster. You just need to try.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And like the thing is, like people think that to be able to work with big brands, with influencers and everything, that they have to be good at everything, at building the Instagram page, the YouTube page, and Facebook ads, Google ads, funnel building, all that stuff. But in my experience, if you're just getting started, I recommend to just focus on one thing. For example, content creation, or closing people in Instagram DM, or creating amazing Instagram stories, or building funnels, or whatever. And you can, if you are just very, very, very good and top expert at one thing, for example, content creation, you can then just reach out to these influencers, show the results, start working with them, and then over the time you can just upsell them and work with them more in depth and intense.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. So you've worked with the biggest influencers in Germany, for example, like Dick Reuter. How many books have you sold with them?
Must be now like with the campaign we launched, which we spoke earlier about. I think it must be now like about 350,000 in like total.
Yeah,
350,000 with one book. Yeah,
that's crazy. So if you could give one advice to people who try to sell their products online, what should they focus on when it comes to selling those products? Is it the sales phase of the marketing? What is it that they should focus on?
Yeah, it's a product at first. You need to have a product for the market. So you basically, like, if you, it's easier if you don't have a product. It's way easier to create something really good, because when you have a product already, it might be that you created, or this product were created because the market didn't need it, but because you were thinking of it. But what most or a lot of people are doing, they think like, okay, this is a perfect product. But basically, like, what you need to do is, like, you need to create, it's about the idea what your product is, what problem you're solving. So this is the most important thing, to create a product that the market wants, and and with another word, a product that is designed for advertising. Okay, so like a product that is designed for advertising, that runs with advertisements that converts cold people, a cold audience, that they went from not thinking about your product, not knowing about your brand, to I need this product because it makes my life better, I need to buy it. And by the way, this brand is so trustworthy, it's so amazing what they're doing. And I like, or I might consider what else are they offering. So
Yeah.
this is the most important thing, is design your product for advertisement, so that you have that you know what problem is it solving, is there a market for it, what are the benefits, and communicating this very, very clearly. Because if you can do this, you're swimming in a blue ocean, where you are the biggest player, instead of like in a red ocean, an ocean that is full of fish, with products, but there are so many sharks that the ocean is red, and the competition is super hard for you to thrive.
Yep. So you'd at the beginning, like, recommend people who are getting started not to go into like a niche, for example, like Instagram or fitness, but to create their own sub niche that they can, let's say, build from zero, where they can position themselves as a top expert. So for example, instead of going to the Instagram niche, and instead of saying, okay, I'll teach you how to get followers, maybe just focus on, okay, how to build your personal brand on Instagram and get clients for your blah, blah, blah business.
Yeah, so exactly. Of course, you have to go into a market, into a niche market, but you should be aware. Okay, like, if there are like 10 people who are, or 100 people who are offering already the same that I do, it might be, first of all, something, a feedback that it works. Yeah, but which is great. Okay, I found something that worked. But on the other hand, I'm now the 101 or the person number 101 that wants to do the same thing, and the chance for you to succeed goes very low with that. So you need to figure out, okay, how am I different? How can I provide more value? And of all these other 100 people, what are they missing? And how can I do it better?
Yeah.
Create more value. And or the other thing is, when I have the same as they have, how can I communicate it better? So like, how can I tell them better than all the other 100 people that what I do is basically the same, but I'm the best person for it? So these are two things in mind, because what a lot of people do wrong actually is they see it and they communicate it the same instead of communicate it better. So you always need to think about it. How can I and one of the most important things when it comes to about communicating, it's like, okay, communicating it better. How can I personally think of all the benefits of my service for that I don't know of yet? Okay, so like, interview your customers. If you don't have any customers right now as a beginner, go to your competition and look under the comments what the people are saying. Uh, Look what the people are thankful for. Look for the hidden benefits.
Yeah.
Take them, advertise them, because your chance of communicating it better just raised to a complete another level. Because most of the people don't spend their time like analyzing what my customers are saying about me. They're just happy they made the sale.
Yeah.
A lot of people suck with their customer experience, so they don't never analyze it. And in that moment where you analyze your competition and the what the customers say about your competition, you're already one step ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also like one of the first things, not just when it comes to selling products, but also when it comes to like getting followers on Instagram, is market research. Beginning to figure out what are other people doing, what doesn't work, what works, and then you can just double down and take the stuff that works and focus on that. That works for Instagram,
Exactly.
getting followers, building your brand, selling your product, and yeah, market research. And then positioning yourself as an expert in, let's say, a sub niche. And when it comes to that, what would you recommend to beginners? Start with like low price products and try to sell as many as possible, or high price products and only focus on a few people. What do you think is best for someone who's maybe an expert at, I don't know, getting YouTube subscribers, or getting Instagram followers, or building a personal brand, or fitness? Would you try at the beginning to go broad, or to focus on like a small market and sell high price products?
Well, it depends where you want to go, I guess. Like, because some people like to
Let's say at the beginning, what would you say is the fastest and easiest way for people to go from $0 to $10,000? They don't have
me,
Instagram followers.
yeah, for me, it was just aim high. So just go for the 10K sales straight.
Yeah.
So I went, and again, some people are that's what I wanted to say in the beginning. Some people maybe don't like to go into the B2B space, business to business.
Yeah.
So in this space, it's different, and it's more conservative, and maybe you cannot scale as fast as you could, like if you offer a service to the masses, which is more B2C in my view. When we talk about Instagram advertising and or brand expert or so on. Yeah, but this has a lot of advantages to go like to the masses, but also on the other hand, like you can go directly work with a few brands or with a few local businesses and get maybe your 2K monthly subscription or 1,500 from your local business, and you just need 10 businesses and you have your 10K recurring revenue every month. So this is also an option what you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of ways for people to like get started and to go from 0 to 10,000 really quick. Yeah. And then when you get to $10,000, like people, like so many people on Instagram, I see lots of people who get started, who make their first money, who make like 5K, 10K, 20K, maybe 30K, who get their first, I don't know, 100,000 followers. But at some point they're just away. They're just away from the scene. Okay, they're just away. They stop their business. They stop working on it and everything. So what would your advice be for someone who wants to turn his, let's say, side hustle into a real business, into scaling something? What would you focus on when it comes to from turning a business that makes maybe like $5,000, $10,000 per month to 6 figures per month? What would you focus on?
Oh, yeah. First of all, like not using the term side hustle anymore. So because it does something powerful, important to your mind, like because how you address certain things that makes you thinking about certain things. So first of all, you should view it as a full-time profession. Then it'd be like, okay, I spend all my time on it. I spend all my dedication to it. I'm about results right now. And this is what I plan to do for the next 5, 10, 20 years or whatever, or till I die. And this is what I like. This is what I want to do. And this is where my expertise is, what I'm the best of it and very good in it. So this is the first step which you need to decide. So because before you don't decide it, it will always stay a side hustle, because if you're not fully committed to something, a new opportunity that comes up looks better, looks greener, looks more important, and so on. Because the main difference is that you're saying no now to a lot of things when you make it your full-time and your profession, and not a side hustle anymore. Because you're start, and you have to say a lot of times to most things that come up, no. You have to say no, I don't have time, or I'm not doing this anymore. I don't accept certain kinds of clients anymore. I only focus on this or that clients. Basically it's about saying no. And that's the reason why you come to then eventually to 6 figures, because you're saying no to a lot of things. You have more time to grow this business you're in, to grow the opportunities you have, because you're saying no, because you don't get distracted. You have more time for output, and output is something that counts in the end, because if you work something on some things, you need to just spend more time in it, because it simply takes time to build something that's great. You need to spend time in, and I mean, like if you would have unlimited amounts of time per day, and you could spend on one day like 10 hours or 100 hours, let's say in theory, in one day on client acquisition, you would get more clients, of course, with 100 hours doing hunting, for example, through LinkedIn, or doing advertising, then you would do it just for 1 hour. That's a point. But if you want to build a business, you get these 100 hours in one day by hiring more people.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do it anymore, but you're looking for people who do this for you, actually. Like, and then when you have like 10 persons working for you, that working 80 hours or 10 hours a day in sales, eventually on one day you have 100 hours of output for sales, and then you have more persons in other areas, and eventually that is the secret behind going from 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, and above. So this is for example, I have a company called Copecard, which is a payment provider, and there we have now a team of 50 people that are working full-time all the time. They're working in sales, they're working in development. Would be only one person who would develop the software would take ages, years till the software is finished, and you cannot even concentrate in the same time on making sales, on getting new customers on the platform. But with 50 people, we have a lot of hours per day. So like we have 400 work hours per day. So this is very important in so many areas, and yeah. So if you want to grow from small to big, you need to start hire people, see it full time, and say no to a lot of things. Get other people, more people that are basically more intelligent than you, that can do certain things better than you, that are expert in their own area. You hire them, you pay them, and you get results, and you grow.
Yeah, 100%. Like for me also, it isn't that long ago when I was still creating the content myself for my personal brand. I was doing the direct messages myself. I replied to the comments myself. I did Instagram stories myself. And then at one point I was like, what? I can just put this all into a system that can teach other people how it works. And I can work with people who are actually very good at content creation, but maybe very good at, let's say, customer support. And I just hire them, pay them money, and they work on it, and I can focus to 100% on other stuff, like for example, building a funnel or on influencer marketing, whatever. And that's for example, for me, that has been huge. Just hiring people for things that are simple to do, for example, content creation, DM management, Instagram stories, customer support, all that stuff. And now I can focus 100% of my time on the stuff that actually matters, money-making activities.
Exactly. And it's interesting, I think, also for your clients to see, because you're actually living what you're talking, what you're teaching, which is great. You're a great role model for that, and people can only learn for that, because it's a very authentic way, and yeah, it's nice to see that. Always and always like believable, and because there's so many people out there that are talking about results and cannot provide anything. It's very important, like, to live that way for your clients, and so so it's easier for your clients, because they can see, oh, everything what this guy talks about, it's real, and I can see now exactly, almost in real time, what he did, how he did it, and yeah, and in your more advanced programs, you're also teaching about that. So like, all they need to do is basically like, okay, see like, okay, what did he do there? And now I implement it in my business. And some people are very, very cynical and very skeptical, and they don't believe it. It's so easy. In the end, it is so easy. That's why also a lot of people don't do it. Yep. And that's why people just need to follow what you did and get their results in it. So it's amazing what you do here, by the way.
Yeah, like what you just said, is some people are skeptical and everything. So also for me, like in the past, people told me, do this, do this, do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And I was like, I think I'm smarter, I can do it in a different way. And then later on, I figured out that I was wrong. So like also maybe one advice for you guys, if someone who's maybe 10 steps or just one step ahead of you tells you, do this, don't do this, and follow that advice if you want to get to the point where he is. And don't think that you're smarter. Because 95% of the time, the things that those people say are probably right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah. You talked about CodeCard, one of your companies. So I think for many people, especially from the German market, CodeCard is pretty interesting because you can use CodeCard to sell products online and stuff. So maybe talk about CodeCard a little bit.
Yes. So the more important, first of all, than CodeCard is like, okay, how can I increase my business, basically? And there are 3 points. You can increase your customers. So the more customers you have, the more revenue you make. If you have only one customer per month that pays you $50, you have $50. But if you have 1,000 of them, you have $50,000 per month. Okay. So the second thing, what you can do is, after increasing your customer count, is increasing your average card value. So if you have a customer that pays $50, that's great. But if you can increase his card, instead with an upsell, for example, instead of like $50, they pay 75. you have $25,000 $25,000 more. And then the third thing is the purchase frequency. If you can bring these customers to buying more often, so instead of buying once for $75, but maybe a month later, again for $50, after 2 months, he pays this $75 every month, and then he pay on the second month he buys again for $50. You have all from a sudden way more revenue, almost double the revenue. So this is a very important KPI, a number to track for you as a business owner. No matter if you're big or small, you always need to know your numbers. How many customers, sales, how often, what's the average cart value, and there are so many more. Basically, but you need to, in order to improve, you need to measure. And this is very important also for your followers. They need to, if you want to grow your Instagram account, you need to measure how many people do I get per day. So only if you measure, you can improve, which is the principle of John D. Rockefeller, one of them, or the richest man who ever lived from America. And he was so successful because he measured everything. And so as a business owner, again, it's very important to know your numbers. Yep. And for me, it was always a problem as a business owner. Like, okay, how can I measure these numbers effectively? Okay, you have your Excel, you can track them with Excel charts. But as a beginner, I didn't know how to track this. And it's with Excel, you still have to do a lot of things manually. So eventually I came up, okay, instead of like getting all this data from Google Analytics and from here and there, from Stripe and PayPal, let's build something that has everything inside. And this is basically what CopeCard is. So you can start within 2 minutes to sell your own product with PayPal, Stripe, invoice, direct debit, whatever you want, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Android, Microsoft Pay, whatever you want. You can register in 2 minutes and basically, or less than 2 minutes, but after 2 minutes, you can already sell. You need just to create your product, and we handle all the payments for you. So basically it's, you have all the payments already integrated, and people can pay with all these payments, which they prefer. And we collect the money and pay you the money out. So we also take care about invoicing. So sending people receipts and invoices and taking care about the taxes. So if you sell in different countries, we take care about the taxes. So you don't need to take care about the taxes, but we do. And we give all the taxes directly to the state, to the country it belongs, in terms of value added tax. So this is what we do. But the most important thing is, like, as I said before, is about the KPIs, about the numbers. So we track all these numbers for you, so you can make smart decisions, and we teach you how to make even smarter decisions and how to improve your revenue as a brand, as a company, as a business owner. We tell you what is your customer lifetime value. We tell you how to segment customers from your best customers to your worst customers, because what you can also do, you can segment the people into all your customers. So which are my best customers? Which are the people who buy the most, who spend the most, who spend the most often time? If you reach out to them and you know who they are, you don't need to waste time anymore. You don't aim blind into the forest and shoot just into the forest and hope that something is coming down from the trees. But instead, you target them with a laser focus, because you know these are my best customers, and you don't need to waste time anymore with people who don't spend that much, and you can focus only on these people and increase their revenue. And this is basically what CopeCard is. So it makes your life a whole lot easier, saves you a lot of time, and helps you make more revenue. And yeah, this is my company, and where you can subscribe. And yeah, copecard.com, just go there. Yeah. And register your account. It's free, and have fun with it.
So put a link down below for CopeCard. So right now it's only available for Germany, right? For people who are in Germany, in Switzerland, in Austria and stuff. Do you have like a waitlist or something for people from the US who want to use CopeCard?
Yeah, so that's not 100% correct. So you can already sell also, like in if you're sitting somewhere else, but mainly like for German-speaking region, but that's right. Definitely this year, in the next 2 months, we will roll out our English product. So for the English-speaking market, and basically with that you can sell worldwide, not only in the US but UK, Australia, United Arab Emirates, India, Portugal, wherever you want. So we later in the next few months we will also offer translations for for certain languages beyond English and German. But yeah, so this is basically just go to copecard.com, make a free account, and doesn't matter if you're like from an English-speaking country, you can do already your account right now, because the way we did it, because you can access the website in English already, and you can register your account. You just cannot sell yet, but within the next 2 months it should be possible. And then also you can have all the benefits from Copecard. Also download the app in the App Store, iOS App Store or Android App Store. It's available there. So you can also have all your numbers on the go.
Yeah, sounds good, perfect. So yeah, as I already said, check out Copecard. We'll put a link down below this video. And yeah, because tracking your KPIs, getting the most out of the customer, making more money, will not just help you make more money, but if you make money with your Instagram account, if you optimize everything, you can then also spend more money to get more followers, and then you will make more money, right? So you can invest the money into influencer promotions, you can get more fun, more followers, and with those followers, you will make more money. So definitely focus on increasing the amount that you make from the customers that you have right now. Focus on charging higher prices, focus on tracking things the right way, and you can then take the money, reinvest, and you can make more money. Okay, I'd say that's it for the interview. Now maybe just one more advice for people. What's like the biggest learning from the last like 6-7 years? What would you tell the 18-year-old Raoul when it comes to not just business but life in general?
Oh, make good contracts. That's pays off. Definitely make good contracts. Always spend time in your contracts. Have a good business model, or like have your business model very good represented in the contracts is something that pays off very, very well in the long term. And yeah, besides that, just be patient. I mean, like as I said, like it took 10 months for Philip Klein. But I never doubted that it will not work. But it's good deals take time, guys, in the world. So like at the time I already was more experienced when I started to work with him, but because so it didn't bother me. But of course, when I would be younger and maybe it would discourage me, like, but that it takes so long. But it's completely normal. Some deals take longer. Some deals go faster, but in the end it's just like be focused on it, keep knocking on the door, like communicate how you can provide better value, how you can make it happen, and in the end it will work out, definitely.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the interview. Go check out Copecard. I'll also put Raoul's Instagram down below this video, and yeah, I'd say that's
Thank you for the interview.